Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing well. It has been a hot minute since I've made any type of video on this channel, but I feel a little passionate about what we're going to talk about today, and I want to get your opinion on it. I want to know what y'all think. Of course, you can tell by the title and the thumbnail that I am going to be discussing the Final Fantasy XIV and Gong collaboration, which just came out and is running until, I believe, August 28th. Now, I, like many others, have been made very aware of the cluster mess that this collaboration is. Final Fantasy XIV is kind of known for really having, I don't want to say difficult collaborations, even though that's true. Very selective collaborations is probably the best way to say it. I don't know of a single one that they have done that has been easy or beneficial to a worldwide audience. They seem to be very selective in terms of like locale, I guess you could say. For example, when they did the one in the past for like the pizza eating emoji, there are a lot of people who don't have access to getting what they needed for that collaboration. And this collaboration is no different. There are a very limited number of gongchas across the world. I don't even think there's one in every single country. I know the United States and Canada have them. I believe some areas of Europe also have them. But again, it's a very limiting for people in other countries to be able to have an opportunity to even try to participate. Now, I'm in the United States and there are a few gongcha locations in my state. However, the nearest one is 3 hours away. Some people might be willing to make that drive for an exclusive mount and keychains. Personally, I'm not. So I got very, very lucky in that a kind soul from my state was helping people out on Reddit to get the codes, and we just paid for the drinks and they sent the code over. It really helps when you see things on eBay, massive scalpers wanting $150 for a single mount code, which is insane. It's insane. But I digress. The fact is they set up these collabs, which are cool in theory, but can be very frustrating for a lot of people. So the reason I'm making this video is I saw a couple of different Reddit posts on the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit. This was not just a difficult thing for players. This was such a difficult collaboration for the employees of Gongcha. Working any sort of retail or any sort of food service is difficult enough on its own. So to see these horror stories of these massively long lines and these poor employees who were underinformed. There were some shops who were selling the keychains separately on their own. There were some who know you had to buy 3 drinks and you get 1 keychain, or you buy 3 drinks and you get 1 mount code. And then there are stories of some where one location literally got like 20 mount code cards and they ran out within a couple of hours. So of course they're dealing with a lot of irate customers, but this, I feel it could have been handled a little bit better. I feel like there could have been more codes given out. I know people were disappointed as well with, again, the pizza emote because they ran out of codes, and it's like, how do you run out of digital codes? I understand Gongcha, they were a physical card. So it's a physical card with a code that you have to put in on a website that then gives you the code that you take and put in on the MOG station. So I get that there's a physical number of those because it was that kind of setup. But for other things, it's hard. It's really hard because I do understand that they're like not going to give out 1 million codes for this exclusive thing. It is an exclusive collaboration. But I'm wondering what everyone else's thoughts are. Like, what do you think about these types of collaborations? Do you think that Final Fantasy XIV has a habit of creating collaborations and running these sort of things that are very limited in who has the accessibility for them? Not just in terms of location, but maybe even in terms of financials. Because as I mentioned before, in order to get a mount code, you have to buy 3 medium drinks. So that's around $20 US, give or take. And on top of that, there is a high chance of high waste. So if people are buying a lot of drinks, say you wanted one of all 3 keychains and the mount, that's 3 drinks per. So that's 12 drinks. So if someone bought 12 drinks to get all of that stuff all in once, who can drink that much boba? Maybe, maybe you can. I don't know. But it just seems like it incentivized, is that the right word? It implemented the opportunity for a lot of waste. And I know I'm definitely rambling a little bit on this as I'm trying to find my thoughts. I was very lucky to find someone who went the first day that this collaboration was announced, and for cost was able to get me a mount code, and they just send it to me through Discord. But again, that's me trusting a stranger. And not everybody has that opportunity, and it's really a difficult position because even people who had the ability to go to one of these locations in person waited in line an hour, 2 hours to get up there to buy drinks. Some of them were already like turned away because there were no more codes or anything like that. So it's just insane that they think this collaboration, and maybe they do plan to send more codes, like maybe this was just the first wave, but to say that this is going to run all the way to 8/28 is wild. It's been one day, and most of the locations that I'm hearing about in densely populated cities do not have any more merch to give out. All of this to say, I am really curious if any of you had any experiences with this collab. How did it go for you? What are your thoughts on it? I personally get a little disappointed every time Final Fantasy XIV posts something, so it really is pretty crazy. I don't think there were enforced limitations where it was like one code or one keychain of each type per person, which may have helped the supplies last longer and may have helped limit resellers. It is unfortunate that we have, in 2024, such a high reseller market on literally everything, to the point where even digital codes for video games based around community end up being so highly scalped. But I just think with the known player base size that Final Fantasy XIV has, that they could think of better ways to do collaborations that result in fun items like that involve other companies, brands, Pizza Hut, Gongcha, Mountain Dew, whatever, that is just more accessible to others. I personally, I've said that probably a million times, think the Mountain Dew one was well done. Not everybody drinks Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew is more accessible around the world, and people could just input their codes online and get a mount or physical merchandise. There was like t-shirts and stuff, I think, and like a cooler. I don't know. There was all kinds of things. But yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are. This is not like my typical, I say typical as if I upload so often. This is not like anything I've done in the past, but I wanted to have this discussion, and I don't have anybody to talk to about it. So yeah. So what do you think? What do you think about the Gongcha collab? Again, how did your experience go with it? Let me know in the comments. And I will try to make more content more often. But anyway, thanks for watching if you made it all this way, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!